plaintiff, Beverly Forehand, says she met the defendant 31 years ago, and they've dated on and off ever since. Beverly admits that she and the defendant were both unfaithful, but she insists the defendant is the father of her 16-year-old daughter, and she petitioned the court for a DNA test as well as pain and suffering. Defendant Kennedy Wilson admits that he and Beverly dated off and on, but he insists he was not with Beverly when she conceived the child in question, and he didn't even know the child existed until she was 5 years old. Kennedy denies owing Beverly for anything.
Start with you.
I met the defendant, Kennedy Wilson, 31 years ago. We have a long history that goes back. I met him in 1985. Our relationship has been on and off for a long time. You know, he's had a problem with other women. And at the time, I was seeing other men too. In 1998.
Yours wasn't the problem. Yeah. His was the problem, but yours was all right. Yeah, yours was under control, right?
All right,
Go ahead.
Okay, so in 1998, Kennedy came back into my life once again.
False.
This was his MO, Your Honor. This was his MO. So in 99, I gave birth to my daughter, Shania, and that's why I'm here. I'm petitioning the court for...
All right. Let me allow him to give some background, then we'll get to some of the pain and suffering you've endured. Sir?
Well, I know I'm not the father of the child because not only was I not anywhere to be found during the child's birth, even more importantly, I wasn't anywhere to be found during the child's conception. And in fact, I didn't even know that the child even existed until I visited her one day, and she's there, and she's already 4 or 5 years old.
Your Honor,
this is after she's had 5 kids from 3 different men. And if I was the father, then why does another man's name is on the birth certificate?
Is that true?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
No.
That's a lie.
No, it isn't.
Anyone have the birth certificate today?
I think there was...
And you want to go back, 85 to 99, is it true you all had an off and on, turbulent?
No, we met in around 81. Mm-hmm. Then I met my wife, and then the choice was clear, and I got married in 86.
All right, and you never went back?
Not until my wife had died.
All right, I'm sorry to hear that. When?
2004.
Okay, so you all did resume in 04?
Yes.
All right, for how long?
Until 2013.
Okay. She said 99, is that when it was?
Yeah, but I didn't get to know this until 2004, 2005.
Ma'am, when did you notify him?
That was right after she was born.
Okay,
that's
99?
a lie.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because he says you didn't tell him until 5 years later.
He's lying.
Okay.
Okay.
And he knew the child was his.
Yes.
Not until 2004, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor,
she says
I have
99.
evidence of I have evidence when she was 6 months old, he was in her life.
Okay.
From the time she grew up.
Father's name, it says information not recorded. Why didn't you put his name down?
Because he wasn't there to sign it.
All right. Do you recall her asking you to sign it?
No.
And what would he say when you would tell him, or there was never any?
At first, Your Honor, he denied it.
Right.
But as time went on,
why would I deny that?
He accepted her as his. He even went as far as announcing to his family at a family reunion that he was claiming her.
Why do you think he would deny the child?
I don't know. But at the time, Your Honor, at the time I was seeing other men. I'm not gonna lie, I was, and I had a drinking problem at that time. But they look so much alike. If you look at the pictures,
let's see.
They look.
So in 1999. He denied it.
Yes.
And
I didn't know about it.
The child's head is turned, so I can't tell.
Yeah, well, that's the only picture I have, but it's her. it's her.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, look, her cheeks
Your
are
Honor,
red.
Hey, look
at
alike.
that.
What the baby said, sir.
Okay, Your Honor.
Very good. What would you want to say, sir? This isn't funny because a child is involved, and I'm glad to hear that you all were living in the household. Means that he was providing, but the other part is for 3 years. Has he been providing for the child?
Not since we broke up in 2013.
Right. And
Yes.
have you pursued any type of support?
No, I haven't.
Why?
That's why I'm here now.
Why?
Well, because when we broke up, Your Honor, it was very messy.
All right.
It was
But
really
why about the
nasty.
child? Not about you.
Yeah.
I'm kidding about you.
Yeah,
The child.
I didn't.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I didn't want anything to do with him. And
I
that
know, but
was
the
stupid
child
on
might
my
want
part.
the child might want his
Yeah.
money
That
or
was
her
stupid
money.
on my part.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Talking about I don't want nothing from him. I just want to. All right, you might not, but the child does. That's the child's money. It's not your money. You don't get none. All
Your
right,
Honor,
son.
I tried to be a father to this child.
Why? If it wasn't your child.
Because she looks like a Wilson. But I was not anywhere around during the birth, and even more importantly, not during the
Now,
conception.
was she alcohol addicted during that time?
I imagine so. I know I'm not the father of the child because I wasn't anywhere to be found during the child's conception. And if I was the father, then why does another man's name is on the birth certificate?
Your
Is that
Honor.
true?
Defendant Kennedy Wilson insists he is not the biological father of the plaintiff's 16-year-old daughter, but the plaintiff insists he is, and she petitioned the court for a paternity test to prove it.
Pain and suffering. What is that for?
Well, Your Honor, after Kennedy got involved, I believe, with this lady here, left us.
When?
In 2013. He moved us, Your Honor, from Philadelphia all the way to Florida. And then he ups when he gets tired of you. That's his MO. When he gets tired of women, he leaves them. He plays with their emotions. This man put me and my daughter through so much pain. He, at one time, for example,
Please,
he
you
would
need to
take us.
stop.
He would take us to the supermarket and leave us there at 12 o'clock at night. Would never come back.
That
we
is
had
a
to
lie.
Get, it's not a lie. Your Honor, I got it all written down in the diary. I think I gave you.
So what?
So what? Okay, Your Honor. No, and then he had me, it was so emotional because he had me feeling like I was nothing. This man, we had to go to therapy behind Kennedy. He left us with nothing, without a telephone, without food. We got evicted and had nowhere to go. He wouldn't even lift a finger to help us find another place because he was living with her.
May I introduce?
And this is his MO.
I would like to say something.
May I
this is his
introduce
MO.
that she had me arrested.
Yeah, and you deserve to be arrested.
She claims that I hit her. The fact of the matter is that she hit me on the day in question.
All right, there's no day in question because she didn't say anything. But since you want to get into this fight,
she had me-
you
she
want to
had-
talk about a fight that she didn't even mention. Ma'am, you want to tell me about this fight? Is this
Yes.
part of your pain and suffering?
Yes, it is, Your
Because that
Honor.
would be eligible for a judgment. You want to tell me about the violence here
Yes.
that he is said went on?
On September 11th, we were arguing, in the house arguing. Mr. Wilson snatched the phone up and was taking it out the house so I couldn't make phone calls. He had opened up the door so hard that I fell behind the door, and he took the door and just kept slamming it on me real hard while I was
That's a
behind
lie.
the
You
door.
were on the
I
ground?
have, yes. I
No,
have the
she
arrest
wasn't.
record.
Where was she?
Behind the door.
I was on the door behind the ground. I was stuck behind the door, Your
Doing
Honor.
what behind the door, sir?
There's the arrest record.
Sir, doing
and-
what behind the door?
No, look, I was trying to leave. I was
I
trying.
say, what was she doing behind the door?
Apparently, she was trying to keep me from leaving. I left the premises. I don't know.
Okay. All right, you
That's
sound
a
like you're
lie.
lying. What is
Yeah.
this?
That is the discharge paper from when I went to the hospital, and his arrest record, the police report. Should be in there also.
Any other assaults in this arrest record?
No, not in that one. No.
All right. And what happened with the case ultimately?
Well, actually, he was arrested. I ended up dropping charges, though.
Why?
Well, I got a restraining order against him.
You consented to the restraining order?
Yes.
based on the specific facts of this case, that petitioner is a victim of domestic violence or has reasonable cause to believe that he or she is in imminent danger of becoming a victim of domestic violence by respondent. So you admitted to it, sir.
No, she wasn't no imminent danger.
That's what stipulate means. You stipulated, you agreed to what she put down here. Therefore, I will stay away from her because I agree that this happened. All right. So he admitted that on here by stipulating that he assaulted you. I also want to see now the results of the test.
Your Honor, can I say something about the assault?
Yes, come on up. State your name.
She got
My
us.
name is Carol Fagans.
What do you want to tell me?
On the day of the assault, he did call me to let him know that he was arrested. But before then, when he would come home, she would leave for days. He called me to let me know he wouldn't be able to see me because she left the child.
That's a lie.
She left the child.
That's a lie. Sit down.
For days.
Sit down,
I let you talk, ma'am.
Approximately what year was this?
14, I'm sorry.
Okay.
14.
And Your Honor, may I also add?
I'm not finished. She would leave for days.
You said
Left
that,
the
so
child
you must be
with
finished.
him.
What
A
else?
lie.
Okay. Also, she got my number, I guess, out of his phone to call me.
I want to hear this mess, ma'am. Sit down.
That's what it is. She just
She called me. You knew what this man was doing. He was playing
Thank
both
you.
of y'all.
Because the same thing he did
This
to me,
man
he gonna
playing
do to
both of
you.
I think
That
not.
sounds like a lie. I can't come there
He gonna
because
leave
she
you
left
to
me for
somebody
many
else.
days here with the child.
You're
So
right.
there
There
was no
wasn't
reason.
nothing
That's
imminent.
enough, ma'am. I told you that's enough. Let's take her out. Take her out. Take her out. Take her out. Now she want to debate with me.
Thank you.
All right.
At the time, I was seeing other men. I'm not gonna lie, I was. But they look so much alike. If you look at the pictures.
The child's head is turned, so I can't tell.
Yeah, well, that's the only picture I have, but it's her. Your Honor, look, her tear
You
on her
said
head.
they look
at
alike.
her.
What the baby said.
Defendant Kennedy Wilson insists he is not the biological father of the plaintiff's 16-year-old daughter, but the plaintiff insists he is, and she petitioned the court for a paternity test to prove it.
Let's see whose child this is.
God.
Probability is 0. It is not his child. That's why you don't want any child support. Have a good day. Your claim is dismissed.
I wish not to be associated with this woman anymore in life.
Well, you know what? That's good, because I don't want anything to do with you. I mean, she's better off that she don't have a nut for a father like you.
He's far from a nut. He's very intelligent.
He got with
Giving and loving.
Well, since the feeling's mutual, please lose my number.
Plaintiff Nicole Howard was friends with the defendant, and she says the defendant's life motto is she runs on tequila, wine, and bad decisions. Nicole claims the defendant often posts naked pictures of herself on social media, and she's suing her today for credit card charges and late fees. Defendant Mary Scipione admits that she goes out from time to time, but insists it's only because she's a party promoter. Mary claims she asked Nicole to show her proof of the credit card charges, but she refused to show her anything, so Mary refused to pay.
Start with you.
Me and Mary met in 2011, and her motto is I run on tequila, wine, and bad decisions. And obviously a bad decision landed us here today in court. And when she's not posting pictures of her naked or, like partying, she's posting stuff on Facebook about, should I buy a $150 skirt? Should I not? When she's saying she's struggling.
You all have been hanging out together? How long?
It was kind of like we became really good friends in 2015.
Okay, 15.
Like the summer.
Been hanging out
that we were hanging out
as opposed
every
to
day.
just seeing each other, yeah. And since that time, you all have been doing all this. Do you do the same thing with her, or you just stand by and watch her?
Watch her.
Remember the things
like,
you just
yes.
told me she does?
Yes.
It was Tequila,
Yeah,
wine,
remember?
men.
Remember all that?
I mean, I have.
Do you do all that with her?
I didn't know. I don't.
You don't?
I'm not that much of a drinker. I do go out and drink sometimes. But
All right. Let me hear from you, man.
She's right. We did meet in 2011. I did recently start going out more because I work downtown right now at this new place that opened. So I promote. I go out to promote. I don't drink too much when I do go out, but when I do drink, it's tequila and wine because that's all I like to drink. So, and that was from a motto from Instagram, which is stupid. But I did meet her in 2011. I ran into some hard times because I was nannying these 4 boys and they ended up moving an hour away, and I didn't want to be a live-in nanny at 21 with my daughter. I didn't want to do that or raise her around a bunch of boys. So I told Nikki all this when we started hanging out in 2015. And she offered to let me use her credit card, and I was very grateful.
We're not there yet. So do you live this type of lifestyle, and does she live it with you, or?
I don't live that type of lifestyle. I mean, I go out after work to promote, but that's about it.
Not regularly and party all the time?
It's becoming more regularly. Well, I mean,
internet?
pictures, it's swimsuits, lingerie, stuff like that when I take photos for people
All right.
or photographers
And she doesn't
downtown.
party like you?
No, she stays home a lot.
Okay. How does she know so much about your partying then?
I don't know.
I have Instagram pictures.
Oh, you show yourself partying a lot on
Yeah.
Instagram?
I got
Not a lot on Instagram.
Instagram and all of that.
You act like you did it just as a promoter, a party promoter.
I go out with the same
Nobody come to
promotion
your
company.
parties if this was your thing. No wonder you getting
You're
sued.
invited.
You're not making
Come on
any
with
money
us.
at these parties.
Come out with us. You're invited.
No, thank you. I'm not coming. These are not the type of parties I go to. All right. Did you finish school or did you go beyond 12th grade?
I did.
Okay. What type of skill do you have?
I study early childhood education, and I'm trying to get into preschool teaching.
Trying
I like
to?
younger kids. I'm looking for an internship at a school, but it's hard
Okay.
because
And you
school
have
just.
all the certification you need?
I'm doing the certification this summer. I'm doing a fast track at Harper.
At Harvard?
Harper.
You give Harvard a bad name with all this. How does she know so much about your partying then?
I don't know.
I have Instagram pictures.
Oh, you show yourself partying a lot on
Yeah.
Instagram?
I got
Not a lot on Instagram.
Instagram and all of that.
Defendant Mary Scipione is being sued by her former friend, who claims Mary often posts naked pictures of herself on social media.
Tell me about how she owes you for the credit card charges.
Well, at the beginning of July 2015, she was struggling. She was a nanny. She wasn't making that much money. And I helped her by activating one of my credit cards. And I said, you could have it for 2 days to, specifically just for her daughter, food, like the necessities, what you would need for your daughter. And when I got the
Bill?
statement, there was tanning, there was a bar on there, a bar twice on there. There was clothes, not baby clothes, clothes, and a lot of other stuff that just isn't baby related at all.
All right.
And I didn't get the card back in 2 days. I got it back with, I think it took a whole month of me kind of having
And
to
the balance,
ask for
or
it.
how much did she spend?
I think at that point it was,
You got it there? You want to read it?
671.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 671. These are all of the statements. I kind of highlighted the nightclub, tanning, clothes, Delta Sonic to clean her
Okay, you
car,
wanna Let me see it.
all of that.
All right. And what do you
These
say
are all
to
the
this,
late
young lady?
fees and
What do you say to this?
I do say that I did agree to pay her the 671. What I want to know is where the extra 300 came from, because 2 days ago when I heard that she was bringing me here,
That was the first time you heard about it?
yeah, well, the extra charges she texted me about, and I'm like, well, let me see the statement showing that, and she never showed me the statement saying that I owed her this extra money. And
Okay.
I have the text messages saying,
Let's see it.
yeah, I have the text
Ma'am,
message
did
saying I
you-
had no
did
problem
she
paying
ask
it. I
you
just wanted
about
to see it
the,
first.
looking at the bill?
I told her, well, one, I wasn't home, so I couldn't give her, show her the bill. But I have no problem showing her it, but
You
she
still
knows.
didn't make it home yet?
No, it's
So
just.
why didn't you send it to her when you did arrive home?
She told me
I
she
mean,
would
at
and
this
never
point,
did.
I was sending her like text messages. I think I got all the text messages
But
of
the
me
point
sending
is,
her
she
nonstop.
said she says she would probably have paid you the amount you were asking for were you to have showed her proof of the bill. And she asked you for it and you didn't provide it. And you admit today that you didn't provide it.
I did every other time before that. I got.
All right. Judgment for the plaintiff. She has shown that she owes. Your only defense is she never showed you the bill. She showed it to me. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I mean, I'm.
No hard feelings, B?
Yeah, I mean, no hard. There's not really any hard feelings.
I'm just glad it's settled, so I don't have to deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
Plaintiffs Chuck Conkle and his wife Kathy say Kathy has been friends with the defendant for 30 years. And Kathy claims although the defendant is smart and talented, she also struggles with alcoholism. They're suing because they say as a result of the defendant's negligence, their Lakehouse was damaged. Defendant Joni Callahan admits that she and Kathy were good friends and says they grew closer over the last few years. But she claims she felt uncomfortable after Kathy insinuated that Joni would do something inappropriate with Chuck. Joni insists the plaintiff's neighbor damaged their home, not her.
Start with you.
Okay, well, one thing I guess I should say, Joni and I have been friends for 30 years, so, and I really do think the world of her. I think she's smart and talented, but she's having some troubles right now. She's struggled with alcoholism, which...
Since when?
20 years ago. You know, she's been sober a lot. That I want to say, because this is what I was going to say. About 20 years ago, she made a comment. It's one of the best things I ever heard in my life, because she was, well, she was sober, but she was with somebody that was drinking, and that was making her crazy. And she told me that she was going to leave him, and then she said, well, maybe I'd stay with him if we had something in common, like consciousness. So, you know, I mean, she's been very involved with AA. So
she's a coma.
Yeah, she's been, you know, but in the last year is when things have kind of gotten...
She's smart and talented. Tell us about that. That was a good compliment.
She had built up a cleaning business that she had so much, she was really good at that, and she had so much work, I don't even think that she could handle all of it.
Why don't you give me some background before we get into the damage she's suing for?
Sure, Your Honor. Like she said, Kathy said, we've been friends for a long time, and we became closer over the last couple years. There's been some issues with between she and the man that I'm seeing.
Plaintiffs Chuck Conkle and his wife Kathy are suing Kathy's former friend, who they claim struggles with alcoholism.
So what are you suing her for today?
She sent me a text that said, could I please go up to the Lakehouse to rest? Because I had let her use it in the past to go and rest. I texted her back and I said, when do you want to go? This was like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And she said, now. So I said, all right, I'm in Chicago, stop by and Chuck will give you a key. So she went and got a key from him, I think about 5 o'clock. Well, she didn't get to the house right away. It took her about 3.5 hours, I think.
How do you know?
Because I got a phone call from the neighbor around 8:30. I was home at this point in time. And the neighbor called and he said, that one friend that you've got, and he didn't even know her name, he said, she's here and she's really drunk.
Smashed.
And, yeah, he said, she can hardly stand up. He goes, she hit your house with the car. And he goes, and I kicked your doors in because the key didn't work. I said, you did what? I said, why in the hell would you do that? And he said, well, I didn't think it was good to, leave her out in the cold like that. So I think
Was he drunk too? Maybe they were.
That's what I think.
I did ask her that later
That's
because
why
I
she
just
was
thought.
going up there. That's where everybody go to get drunk. What you all do when you go up there? Does your husband?
I have drank up there a couple
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, I can tell you like a nip or two.
But
Ma'am, you tell me what happened here.
Okay, so the background is that, yeah, we've been friends for 30 years, got closer over the last couple of years. There were some issues with jealousy on Kathy's part.
Jealous of who?
She actually insinuated that I might do something inappropriate with her husband.
Oh, go ahead.
I know.
that's not.
I hate
That
to say
actually,
that.
that's.
And what it was,
not
I'll give you an
true.
example. At one time, I was up at the cottage. I also cared for their cottage for the last year and a half. I've taken care of it during and in between renters. I've done painting and just all kinds of odd jobs around there.
Good.
So that's part of why I was allowed to go to the cottage. But anyway, I was at the cottage with a couple friends, and Chuck was outside working. Charles was outside working, and my clothes were wet because I played in the lake with a little boy, one of my friend's kids. And I was in the back bedroom changing. Kathy had me on the phone. I had the door closed to the bedroom, and I said, just give me a minute. I have to take off my wet shirt. And she screamed on the phone, Chuck is there. I'm like, I wouldn't do this in front of your husband. I'm insulted. That's crazy.
All right, move on. Tell me about the incident. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, great.
Not you stripping in front of her husband.
I know. It really was
Let's talk
insulting.
about
But anyway.
the incident. What happened then?
Okay. The incident. Okay, so I went by, as she said, to go get the key to the cottage because I didn't have mine, and the one that I normally had. And Chuck inadvertently gave me the wrong key. So I get to the cottage, I pull down in their driveway, it's on a slant, and it was not shoveled yet. There was nowhere else for me to park because of all the snow anyway. So I couldn't really shovel it. And so I go to get in the house. It was the wrong key. I couldn't get in. I was stuck in their drive. I couldn't get out. But I tried to get out. I kept sliding around. The neighbor, next door neighbor, heard me. And he came out and
He knew it was you?
well, yeah, he had seen me before. We'd had some interactions.
So he saw it
during
was
the
you when
time. Yeah, he
came
heard
out.
he heard my tires spinning because I was so stuck. And so he came over and I asked him to please help me find a way to get in the house if possible. Well, I don't know if he was drinking or not, but yeah, it kind of seems like it at this point. So he decided that it would be a good idea to try to kick in the garage door. He ended up trying to kick in the front door too. I didn't do any damage.
You saw him do all that?
Yes.
I'm sure you told him to stop.
Yes. I said, no. I said, don't try to kick in the door. The garage door, the service door is normally unlocked anyway.
So try to kick in 2 different doors. Did you say that? So when he did the first one, what did you say?
I didn't want to freeze out in the cold. I was freezing on my car. In my mind, I was going to
So
be
you didn't
either.
stop him. All right. So you
Yeah.
didn't stop him. Okay.
No, I didn't.
Plaintiffs Chuck Conkle and his wife Kathy are suing Kathy's former friend, who they claim struggles with alcoholism.
And why don't you think you should be responsible?
Well, because I didn't ask him to. I actually was hoping that he could pry a door open, but he started kicking.
So you didn't want him to kick it in.
No.
You wanted him to break in.
Pry, just.
Pry.
Yeah. Well,
Cause
yeah.
less damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. She's still drinking. 1102 is your judgment. You conspired with the neighbor to kick it in. That's exactly what that is. You went to him, said help. He showed you that he was going to help by kicking it in. And as you just said, you didn't want to sit out in the cold, so you were there. You didn't try and stop him. Therefore, you're liable. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you. All right. And I'm a forgiving person. I know she is.
I mean, I really do think
It's all in the past. Yeah. Yeah. We'll be okay.